In this Lunchbox Grasshopper tutorial, I want to show you how you can make an Enneper surface by using the component, and then we're going to learn how to extract the isocurves to get the curves on the surface, and finally we're going to turn that into pipes. So this tutorial can teach you step by step how you can do that in Grasshopper. So let's get started from scratch. What I want to do is to go to the Lunchbox plugin, and in the math section you can find the Enneper surface. So I'm going to just put this on the canvas. Let me put the bifocals plugin, and this is the Enneper surface we can use. The U division and V division is actually, let me bake this surface, is the isocurves we can have. Let me just go to the shaded mode. The number of the isocurves we have the surface, so you can just change that if you want to. But for now, the most important thing that we want to focus on is the parameter for the form, the R parameter. If I give this a number slider, you can notice that it's going to give you the pattern, but changing the number doesn't change the form until we just reach something like 1.5, then 3, and so on. So it's a multiplication of 1.5. I'm going to just double click on the canvas, 2 forward slashes, and type 1.5. That's the number we can use. We can just delete the panel's title. Then we need a multiplication, so I'm going to go to the math and use this multiply, and then give this multiplication to the R. We can start from 0 to maybe 8. The 0 will give you nothing, so let's just make that from 1. And we can just start giving this more pattern. Okay, so that is going to be the number slider of the number of these curves we will have on the Enneper surface. The scale is just a simple scale number, so by just changing this, you can scale up the form like this. And the domain 1 and domain 2 is also a section of the form. For example, if I change the domain from 0 to 1 to something smaller, we can go to the math and use this construct domain. And for example, from 0 to 1 with 2 decimals. And okay, the 0 is going to crash the surface, so remember it has to be bigger than 0. I'm going to just wait till the results get started. Okay, so if we want to eliminate that crashing, I'm going to give that minimum to 0.2, and then we can change that from here. Okay, this is going to give you one of the directions of the NURB surface, like this. Then we can control the domain 2. You can see it's from minus pi to pi. Again, I'm going to use this construct domain. We can say pi, and from minus 1 to 1 with 2 decimals. Remember that the start and the end should not be the same. We will have that problem again. So I'm going to give that to the domain 2. And now you can see that we can also have a section of that Enneper surface, something like this. For example, if we want a complete half like this, we can reach it like 0, something a little bit smaller like this one. And you can play with it to produce a section of that form if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to make it a complete NURB surface. The next part is to extract the isocurve. Before I extract the isocurve, I want to teach you another thing, that you can have a section of this surface. We can go to the surface utility. We've talked about this before, and that's isotrim. Okay, so I'm going to just pick up the isotrim, give it to the surface, and this is going to take a subset of the surface. We can right click and reparameterize to make it from 0 to 1 and 0 to 1, and then we can work with this domain. This time I'm going to use this math domain and go to construct domain 2 to control, because you can see that this is basically a domain of the surface. So I'm going to give that, and that's going to be something similar to this domain 1 and domain 2. But let me just show you. Again, we have from 0 to 1. That can be a good exercise to understand how NURB surfaces work. Again, you can see that this is going to give you a subset of the surface. And a section of the surface. So remember, instead of this domain 1, domain 2, you can also use this isotrim with the construct domain. And I'm going to put that in the example file, so if you want to learn and get more information about the isotrim, you can also use that too. Okay, so we can get rid of this one here. Okay, the next part is to extract the isocurves. I'm going to go to the curve, this spline, and use this isocurve tool. The isocurve is going to extract the curves from the NURB surface. So I'm going to give that here. Again, right click and reparameterize to make it from 0 to 1. I will put up some tutorials related to these things up here, so be sure to check those videos if you don't know about these commands. So to make this isocurve, we can go to the vector and use this construct point tool. The reason I'm using this construct point tool because the UV point is exactly in XYZ coordinates, but it doesn't have a Z, so we can just get rid of this by just changing the title to something else. And instead of an XY, because this is the X, if we want to just have it better, let me just go here. For example, think that it's something similar to this. This is an X, but we call it a U because the coordinate is on the surface. And then we will have something like this on the surface, which is V. It's a Y, but we call it a V, so it's a UV. And I'm going to just call this a U and a V. Give it to here. For example, if I give this a number slider between 0 and 1 on the U, you can see that we can extract a curve here. And if you give it to the V, you can see that you can extract it around. So what we need here is a series of U's that are located on the surface. That's really easy. I'm going to use the range. Be sure to watch the range tutorial I'm going to put up here, and then you can learn how it's working. But by default, the range is between 0 and 1, perfectly what we need. And the steps is the number of steps we have. So maybe we want from 3 to 12. And give it to the U. That's how we can extract the curves. Here it is. Then we have the U and the V isocurves. If I give it to the U, you can see that we have this one, which we don't need. And if we give it to the V, we have exactly to everything off the curve on the surface, something like that. Let's just zoom in. And that's it. At the end, if we want to, we can give it a pipe. So I'm going to go to the surface and use this pipe tool and give it a radius, maybe 85%. And we will have these pipes on the surface. Let's just turn on the surface and see the pipes. That's it. We can bake this into one layer and bake this one into another layer and have this in Rhino. So in Rhino we can give this different materials if we want to and produce the results. Okay, I hope that this tutorial was useful and helped you to understand the Enneper surface of Lunchbox plugin, and see you next time. Bye.